Now at 10 and streaming on Crossroads today, UHV hosts Victoria County political party chairs for students learning about politics.
A study shows voters in Texas face more problems to cast a ballot than in most states.
And October is Financial Exploitation Awareness Month. APS investigates financial exploitation against older adults in the U.S.
A little interruption in our smooth weather to Halloween because, yes, we are looking at some storms as early as Thursday and into Friday. We're going to talk all about it, but first, here's Gino.
And the Faith Academy volleyball team finished their season off with a perfect district record. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
New at 10, the U.S. Coast Guard confirms the body of 37-year-old Bradley Stafford of Victoria was found at 3 p.m. today on Sand Point Beach. Authorities say it appears his body washed ashore. The Coast Guard suspended its search Monday afternoon. The Matagorda County Game Wardens found the body. His kayak has not been found. Bradley Stafford's father reported him missing Sunday morning. The U.S. Coast Guard searched Matagorda Bay and Boggy Bayou Sunday and Monday. A spokesperson said Stafford was on a fishing trip Saturday at 4 a.m. A friend last saw him fishing at 10 a.m. Saturday. The Coast Guard reports Stafford's truck, cell phone, and wallet were found near Boggy Beach. After nearly a year, victims and their families of the Waukesha Christmas Parade have some closure. A jury found Daryl Brooks guilty of 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide today.
In November 2021, Brooks drove his SUV into a crowd at the parade, hitting 68 parade goers. Several people were hurt, and several of the victims' family members reflected on the verdict.
He put people through so much pain and suffering for what his actions were.
Don Teague's son Eric was critically injured in the parade as he marched with the Waukesha South Band and has faced a long recovery.
I mean, you're hearing the horns honking here. You feel kind of the same way right now?
Yeah, it's been a long day waiting. Something that this community needed is closure. You know, we're just so thankful for the community, the support that we've been getting.
Amber Conkey's daughter Jesselyn was critically injured and is still recovering from another recent surgery.
All of this is important to me, for not just my child, but for everybody. It's all very important. It means a ton. I mean, my daughter was ran over that day, so, you know, it just means a bunch to me. It really does.
The family of dancing granny Virginia Sorensen, killed in the parade, placed a small vial of her ashes in the courtroom as the verdicts were read.
We've been praying for this day for a long time, and this morning my 5-year-old daughter came up to me and handed me this necklace with my mom's ashes in it, and she told me to take my mom with us for the sentencing. So she was with us today, and I just want to thank everyone for what they did today.
It's been a difficult day. I know that this will give us healing. This is another step forward in this process. We've been resilient all the way through. One of the things that I've said so much throughout this is that we're stronger than him, and it's been proven today.
UHV student organization AFAL hosted the Victoria County political party chairs for a talk with students. AFAL compiled questions about several hot topics for the upcoming elections. Democrat Party Chair Woodrow Wilson Wagner III and Republican Party Chair Bill Posey shared their opposing thoughts on topics like immigration. Wagner calls for government to work together to end the issue.
At some point, Mr. Biden and Mr. Abbott or Mr. O'Rourke or whoever's in that office need to sit down and stop exchanging tweets and come out with some kind of reasonable solution to this and attack.
Posey wants the government to minimize immigration as a whole. He thinks the community will prosper with less traffic across the border.
These additional people coming into the country, we don't know who these folks are, and they come in and they use a lot of social service and they cause a lot of problems, the problems being overwhelming the resources that we have.
These students received many questions from the two. The goal of the candid conversation was to give students a better understanding of politics. Voters in Texas face among the most obstacles in U.S. to cast a ballot. The Cost of Voting Index has Texas ranked 46 in the country for voting access, falling one spot since 2020. Voting access refers to how easy it is to register and to vote. Still, despite voter accessibility challenges, Texas does allow a full 13 days of early voting, more than most states. But the state has some of the toughest restrictions on mail-in ballots of absentee voting. Early voting in Victoria for the November 8th general election continued Wednesday. The numbers from the Victoria County Election Administrator look like this. 1,157 people voted in person early Wednesday, 528 in-person votes total, 213 mail-in votes were received Wednesday, resulting in a total of 1,567 mail-in votes so far.
Early voting in Victoria County is at the Dr. Patty Dodson Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A. It will be open from 8 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Early voting ends Friday, November 4th. The last day to apply for a ballot by mail is this Friday, October 28th. Early voting totals from DeWitt County Wednesday. There were 262 in-person votes Wednesday for a total of 959 in-person votes so far. There were 17 mail-in votes in DeWitt County Wednesday, 136 mail-in votes total so far. Early voting in Calhoun County through Tuesday, there were 358 in-person votes Tuesday, total of 731 in-person votes so far in Calhoun County. 5 mail-in votes Tuesday there for a total of 144 mail-in votes.
Governor Greg Abbott is making his second Victoria campaign stop this year. Thursday, the event will start at 11:45 a.m. at the Pump House Riverside Restaurant, 1201 West Staten Avenue tomorrow. County Judge Jill Sklar put a burn ban in Jackson County. The ban prohibits outdoor burning in Jackson County. This comes after a lack of rain and higher wind speeds, which can cause fires to become easily enlarged and difficult to control.
And let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon. Howie, could this be the start possibly of a trend? Do you see maybe more counties in our area going the way of a burn ban?
Well, we've been on the dry side. I mean, we had some storms move through the other day, Don. We got 3/4 of an inch of rain. We do have more storms coming up. I mean, it's hard, climatologically speaking, you know, we're on the drier side around here. But at the end of the day, it's up to the weather gods to deliver everything, and we'll give you the message, but it's hard to tell. I mean, we've been on the dry side. We do need some more rain. We are getting some potentially in a couple of days. Wind's not that bad, but here's what we got. 53 overnight. But yes, we do have another storm, so hey, if we can get some more accumulations out there, we can start putting an end to these burn bans. We'll talk more about it coming up soon. Don, Karina?
Howie, thank you. Adult Protective Services is warning people about financial exploitation, especially when it comes to the elderly. 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick has more. Adarius.
Yes, Karina, October is Financial Exploitation Awareness Month. APS investigates allegations involving people over the age of 65 or people with disabilities. The organization wants Texans to remember elderly people are more vulnerable to scams. Financial exploitation of elderly population is an underreported crime, which is the purpose of the month. APS wants the community to help elderly people when they can to bring the issue to an end.
If the community suspects that someone has been taking advantage of another person, whether it's exploitation or physical abuse or neglect, they can always report it to Adult Protective Services and give us an opportunity to look into the matter further.
Possible warning signs can include cashing a check without the account owner's permission, adding extra names on a bank signature card, unpaid bills despite having enough money, unexplained transfer of assets, and more. Keep an eye on your family or friends who can face financial exploitation. If you have suspicions, you can call APS at 1-800-252-5400. Karina, back to you.
Adarius, thank you. Here's your viewer poll this evening. But first, don't forget to come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate in our polls. Viewers can also scan the QR code right there on your screen. Now, the question is, do you know someone who has fallen victim to elderly fraud? Yes or no? We go ahead and take a look. 33% say yes and 67% say no. Thank you for participating. We want to hear from you.
PAM Health hosted a drive-through appreciation luncheon for area first responders this afternoon. First responders lined up from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the PAM North location. It's an annual tradition the hospital group puts together to show appreciation for all first responders, fire, EMS, city and county law enforcement who put their lives on the line for public safety each day.
Today we're just providing a little respite for these guys, a little lunch, just to show our appreciation. We think that they're every day they deal with all the things that most of us would like to not deal with, and they keep our community safe.
This event was held in advance of National First Responders Day, which Congress designated to be recognized on October 28th. Thank you to all our first responders for keeping us safe.
Alrighty, here's the top headlines you'll find in this week's Port Lavaca Wave. During the month of October, law officials made 18 arrests. Plus, the Memorial Medical Center delivers a 25-week-old premature baby. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, a second woman accuses Georgia Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker of pressuring her into getting an abortion.
Also ahead, the federal government says the Texas power grid is still vulnerable to extreme winter weather.
There's scary high savings the whole month of October at Mac Haik Victoria. New in-stock 2022 Ford F-150, $10,000 off MSRP. For details, get to Mac Haik Ford in Victoria, MacHaikFordofVictoria.com.
With Home Chef, you're not just home cooking, you're home winning. Our fast and fresh meal kits are as fast to make as they are fresh to enjoy. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meat simple.
Get 16 free meals when you sign up at homechef.com.
What would happen to Texas if Beto O'Rourke became governor? Beto would hammer us with crushing tax increases, crumble our oil and gas industry with his radical environmental policies. He'd destroy public safety, opening our borders and defunding the police. And Beto would demolish law and order with easy bail, putting violent criminals back on the streets. Texas under Beto O'Rourke wouldn't be Texas anymore.
Are you ready to stop letting big business take your customers away? Phase 3 Digital is your #1 digital marketing resource to keep your customers shopping with you. With an office right here in the Crossroads and a team of support across the nation, we can help you wherever your business is in the online journey. From building a site to developing e-commerce capabilities to growing your customer base, we will drive results. It is time to take the next step in growing your business with Phase 3 Digital. Are you ready to take your customers back? Give us a call or visit us online to get started.
There's scary high savings the whole month of October at Mac Haik Victoria. New in-stock 2022 Ford F-150, $10,000 off MSRP. For details, get to Mac Haik Ford in Victoria, MacHaikFordofVictoria.com.
A federal assessment shows the Texas electricity grid is almost as vulnerable to extreme winter weather as it was in last year's polar plunge. Public Utility Commission officials say the federal analysis is flawed. The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission says the Texas power grid is only slightly better than it was in February of 2021, and that electricity demand could top generation capacity.
A second woman comes forward with allegations against Georgia Republican Senate nominee Herschel Walker. A Georgia attorney claims her client had a romantic relationship with Walker and he drove her to a clinic to have an abortion after she became pregnant during their relationship. This is the second woman claiming she had an abortion after becoming pregnant with Walker's child. Walker denied the allegation at a rally in Georgia today.
I'm gonna just say right now, guys, I'm done with this foolishness. I've already told people this is a lie and I'm not going to entertain, continue to carry a lie alone. And I also want to let you know I didn't kill JFK either. And right now they sent one out after he got crushed at that debate. Now the Democrats are doing say whatever they can to win this seat. But I want them to know they don't know Herschel Walker. They don't know that I'm from Wrightsville, Georgia, and I'm going to win this seat.
The attorney says her client is coming out now because, quote, she thinks that voters have the right to know, unquote. Now to the rise in respiratory illnesses among children overwhelming some hospitals across the country.
Facilities are at high numbers of children who have come down with respiratory illness caused by the flu, COVID-19, RSV, or possibly a combination.
The rise in respiratory illness is tightening its grip on children and pediatric hospitals across America.
We are as full as we have ever been, and I think that this is similar to other children's hospitals across the nation.
Pediatric hospital beds in 9 states and Washington, D.C. are already above 80% capacity, another 5 states above 90%. Health experts sounding the alarm about the potential for a triple-demic: RSV, COVID-19, and the flu.
It's really starting in the south. This is where we see the respiratory viruses begin and spread northward. So I'm worried here for the north, where we still haven't quite seen anywhere near the peak. Then you layer in COVID and a new variant, a flu season. That's going to combine to make a perfect storm for a real challenge for the coming months for all our pediatric hospitals across the country.
And when it comes to RSV, the virus and the congestion symptoms can be dangerous for infants with tiny airways. Doctors urging parents to know the signs of respiratory distress, like flaring of the nostrils and using extra muscles to breathe.
Their airways are so narrow and so tiny, the amount of congestion that they have can cause them to really have a tough time breathing. And sometimes their oxygen levels fall and they really can't breathe. So those are the ones we really worry about.
Warning signs that this mom noticed just in time to get her baby the care that she needed.
In probably the course of like 2 hours, she'd gone from like being our normal baby to she was on a respirator.
But doctors say if your child does get sick and is congested, there's a lot you can do to help at home.
Parents can try things such as a cold humidifier, nasal suctioning, nasal sprays to help their kids move air and feel a little bit more comfortable.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Reports found nations are way off track to limit global warming below a dangerous threshold. The UN reported today global warming will rise to between 2.1 and 2.9 degrees Celsius, way beyond the 1.5 degrees nations are trying to stay under. The average global temperature has already risen around 1.2 degrees since the Industrial Revolution. Here's a look at some of the top stories you'll find in the Cuero Record. Early voting is going on at the DeWitt County Weber Annex, 115 North Gonzales Street, Suite A. DeWitt County District Attorney Rob Lassman is asking the county for a budget change, and the trunk or treat will be on Halloween at the First United Methodist Church in Cuero. Read more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
We can see some more strong storms here in South Texas. We're going to talk all about it coming up.
Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC want to let you know that you can lean on us. We will award $500 to a deserving winner. Drop off an entry form at any of our participating dealerships in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more information or to enter online. You can tune in every other Thursday at the 6, 9, and 10 p.m. news to view our winners. Lean On Me is sponsored by Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC.
It's high school football season. If you're headed to the game, we want to see your best photos. You can win big by submitting your photos to Crossroads today. Your photo can be the next one to be showcased on Crossroads Football Live. Each winner gets a $25 Dickey's Barbecue gift certificate and a 2022 CFL t-shirt. Go to crossroadstoday.com/CFL Hall of Fame Sweepstakes and submit your photos. So pull out your cameras or phones and show us your team spirit.
El Campo Cycle Center is headquarters for Honda, Suzuki, Polaris, and Can-Am. We carry everything from dirt bikes and street cruisers to all-terrain vehicles, parts, clothing, and accessories. We service what we sell. Check out our lineup of bad boy riding mowers and Ranch King trailers. Be prepared with a dependable Honda generator. Best selection, best prices. Visit our huge showroom at El Campo Cycle Center, elcampocycle.com.
2023 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
Dating app.
There was a coffin in the middle of his bedroom.
Horror stories.
I actually found my date hiding under my bed.
Before you swipe right,
he started to strangle me.
Beware.
I was covered head to toe in blood. He attempted to cut off both of my hands and other parts of me to have as food.
He was going to eat parts of your body. All new Dr. Phil.
That smile, Matthew Perry. Now he's ready to tell the story behind that smile.
Secrets kill people like me.
You said there were 6 friends, and one of them was sick.
Yeah.
Friday night at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
Okay, we start off again in Cuero. Nice clear skies. We'll drop down tonight, but not as cool as the last few nights. Today we warmed up to 80 degrees, right around average after seeing most of last week in the 90s. Then we did cool down with that front in the last couple of days. Saw a couple highs getting stuck in the 70s. That might happen again. Nothing today in the way of any measurable rainfall. Here we got about 10-21 on the coast, still close to 70. You move away from the water, temperatures starting to drop into the low 60s and the upper 50s. Again, we should stay in the 50s overnight, not dropping into the 40s as we did last couple of nights. And a week ago, 42 degrees, record low temperature. Here's our dew points. So, yeah, they're going up a little. We're seeing some moisture move in from the Gulf, but our boundary coming in on Friday is going to knock temperatures as well as dew points down. These haven't felt too bad the last couple days, but you know how stuffy it can get when we start to see them back in the 60, 65, 70-degree range. Been very windy lately. Now high pressure just really keeping things on the calm side. But as that boundary starts to push closer, move into some other disturbances and high pressure moving away, that's going to start a little bit of some wind. And yeah, we can see winds in that 30, 35 mile per hour range, maybe Thursday night into Friday when that boundary starts to make it towards us. And here we go. Speaking of the boundary, okay, our last boundary pushing off to the south, way down there in the Gulf. High pressure keeping things under control, keeping skies clear, pushing down on the atmosphere and warming us. The high, though, is going to start moving from west to east, further from the area. That'll allow for more moisture to move up out of the Gulf. This moisture is going to run into some fast-moving upper level winds. That could trigger some showers. So moisture is accumulating ahead of this front that is headed our way. But then the boundary is going to start moving into this moisture along the boundary. Now we got winds, we have lift, we have rain. We could see some strong storms potentially once again, maybe even a chance of some severe weather. So we'll continue to monitor this storm. It's going to be very similar to the last. We're going to move through pretty quickly. And then behind the storm, cool, dry air is going to move in. We're going to see another cool down. We'll see 70s for highs. Actually, should be very, very pleasant. Here's our future tracker. We're going to keep an eye on. I know sports is coming up in a moment, but let's focus on sports. Here we go. Thursday, boundary starts moving closer. We get some rain. And then into Friday, we have some showers early. When is it going to clear up? It might be 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Maybe second half of football could have rain. If we get closer to it, I'll make a better determination maybe sometime tomorrow. But yeah, we could be seeing some showers for Friday night football. Here's our marine forecast. The water temperature just 72, seas 2 to 3 feet, bays on the choppy side. One little small feature out there moving north, could strengthen a little bit. Going to stay over there in the open waters. As it heads west of Bermuda, though, should start to weaken and moving into some upper level winds. 53 overnight, not too bad. And then tomorrow, though, back up to 80. Lots of sunshine. But then looking ahead, here's what we got. That disturbance. It's going to bring some showers. It's going to cool us down. That's over in Cuero. Then in Port Lavaca on the water, similar conditions are almost identical. Then right back here in Victoria, yeah, 80 for Thursday. And then for Friday, that system moves in. We could see potential severe weather. I'll keep you informed. Then later in the week, look at it. Halloween looking very, very nice with a high around 79 degrees. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com. That is free with any Android and iPhone. Now we go to Sports with Gino.
Thanks, Howie. That rain is not going to be good for me. I'll be at Memorial Stadium. But we have a shocking realization ahead of the World Series. That's coming up after the break.
Tired of your typical clock in, clock out job? You need a rewarding career in an entertaining environment that you'll enjoy. Take yourself out of the box and come to the Victoria Television Group. We have an active, fun, creative atmosphere that can help you succeed and keep those everyday work blues away. Come join our energetic and outgoing sales team. Renew your career and learn to use skills you didn't know you had. Call us 361-575-2500 or email opportunity@victoriatelevision.com for more information.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Mike Collier wants to turn Texas into Joe Biden's America. Mike Collier wants open borders and to eliminate immigration and customs enforcement. Mike Collier wants to increase the business tax, property taxes, and the gasoline tax. Mike Collier wants biological boys to compete in girls' sports. Mike Collier wants AOC's Green New Deal, destroying our energy industry, costing jobs. Mike Collier wants to turn Texas into Joe Biden's America. Mike Collier, wrong for lieutenant governor, bad for Texas.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips. 25 News Now would like to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Go to the link on your screen for more information on how to download.
Victory Buick GMC has been named the area's friendliest car dealership, and here's why.
Our service department has the lowest labor rates in the Crossroads.
That means better service for less money.
Plus, we give all veterans, first responders, and medical professionals an additional 10% off.
We service all GM vehicles and we honor all extended warranties.
With world-class service and lower prices, we think you too will say,
I love Victory!
Howdy Crossroads. The Faith Academy volleyball team finished district undefeated with an 8-0 record and went 18-7 on the season. Going undefeated in district means the Lady Cougars are the district champions. Faith Academy will host the first round of playoffs this weekend, Saturday, with a projected start time of 4 o'clock. In the final district game, the Lady Cougars would win 3-0 against Legacy Christian Academy in San Antonio. The opponent for the playoff game is either Brazosport Christian Lake Jackson or Second Baptist University out of Houston. The team will know who they will play tomorrow night. 1947 was the first time a black athlete debuted in the World Series. His name, Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers. But this year, history will be made for a different reason. In the battle between the Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies, this will be the first time since 1950 that there will not be a U.S.-born black player in the World Series. That game was between the New York Yankees and, coincidentally enough, the Phillies. The Astros manager Dusty Baker was a part of the 1981 championship LA Dodgers team as a black outfielder. President of the Negro League Baseball Museum said it is eye-opening and startling that 2 cities with high African American populations, there's not a single black player on the team. The MLB also has pledged $150 million in the next decade to the Players Alliance to increase black involvement at all levels of the sport. And speaking of the World Series, former Frio baseball star Dan Farova is the quality control coach for the Houston Astros. The role of quality control coach is to prepare the team for the game by analyzing film and compiling the information into statistical form, helping in scouting, and to ensure quality input and output on and off the field. Farova was added to the organization in 2021, but his dream of winning the World Series was dashed, but he has the opportunity to do so this year.
Having this opportunity to work with the Astros, be part of the team, be part of the coaching staff, and getting to know all these players, it's a great experience for me.
The Astros will play the Phillies Friday night at 7:03 in Minute Maid Park. And lastly, Cuero State champion and Texas Longhorn wide receiver Jordan Whittington wears the number 4, and apparently so does a 1,700-pound mascot. The 4-year-old Bevo was spotted wearing a jersey heading into DKR Stadium, led by his handlers, also known as the Silver Spurs. This isn't the only time Bevo has made the headlines. He was when he almost took out Georgia's mascot Uga before the Longhorns bowl game in 2019. Whittington has 404 yards and 1 touchdown this season on 29 receptions and averaging almost 14 yards per reception. Now, Don and Karina, I was at that game for the Sugar Bowl, and it was the game hadn't even started yet, and tempers were flaring, but it was a good game, and I'm glad the Longhorns came out on top. But back to y'all.
You know, Gino, there was a lawsuit about that.
Yes,
apparently a photographer got run over.
Yeah, apparently the horn hit him in the back, and
oh my goodness!
It was, but he turned out to be okay. So
okay, well, that's good. All right, thank you, Gino, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, the Biden administration unveils a program providing clean school buses.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Choose in stock or custom order your F-150 and lock in $3,900 for $60 plus $500 cash plus complimentary maintenance. See your Ford dealer.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Do you know an outstanding athlete in your area? Go to crossroadstoday.com and submit your nomination for the Athlete of the Week, which is brought to you by Pepsi Cola. Then tune in to 25 News Now on Thursdays 6 p.m. news and Fridays 6 a.m. news to see who will be Pepsi's Athlete of the Week. Support local athletics and submit your Athlete of the Week on crossroadstoday.com for any athlete in the Crossroads area. Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Pepsi Cola, the preferred partner of local athletes.
Khloe Kardashian. You talk about living next door to your mother.
The other day she called and she was like, "Who just left your house?" But I was like, "Why are you looking out the window? How long have you been perched there watching me?"
Next, Kelly. You also shared this season that you're training yourself to unlove your ex, Tristan. What has helped you on that journey? Asking for a friend.
The two Ohio fishermen accused of putting weights inside the fish they caught to win a tournament were in court Wednesday. 42-year-old Jacob Runyon and 35-year-old Chase Kaminsky gained national attention when video went viral showing weights and fish fillets inside their tournament-winning catch. The men were indicted on criminal charges, including 1 count of cheating and 1 count of attempted grand theft. Both men pleaded not guilty. The Biden administration is providing about $1 billion in grants for clean school buses. Vice President Kamala Harris was in Seattle to speak about the program. Money for about 2,500 low-emission and electric school buses is expected to go to almost 400 schools across the country. The Vice President called the program an investment in more than just a cleaner environment.
This bus symbolizes so much about our collective investment in our future. Because of course it is about our investment in our children, in their health, and in their education. And in that way, our electric school bus program really does represent an intersection of all those points.
The grants are part of President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. The new buses are expected to carry students at the beginning of next school year.
And now we go to your First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon for your last look. And Howie, is it going to be good school bus weather in the morning?
Tomorrow morning, yeah, not too bad at all. Maybe a little cool, but in the 50s. Here's the thing, though. By Friday, this is what we're looking at. I don't know if that's going to be school bus weather or not, especially for football. Well, I can't say it's going to be football weather, but maybe traveling to and from, that could pose potentially some problems. So 53 overnight, and then tomorrow, after that early morning start, will be in the 80s later on. The start will be in the 50s. But here's what we're looking at. That's right, for Friday, 77 degrees. We got those showers maybe impacting football. But look at Halloween, looking very nice. The high near 80 overnight, cooling in to the 50s. And then beyond that, we start to warm up after Halloween. Don, Karina?
Thank you, Howie. And robots are now delivering food orders. It sounds like science fiction, but it's the new reality at Southern Connecticut State University. There's a KiwiBot. It's a brand new delivery service on campus.
I think it's really cool because I have chronic pain, so like if I can't go get food, I think it's really nice that like it can be delivered to you.
Process is simple. After downloading the app Everyday, that's what it's called, Everyday, students can choose from the dining center or other food locations on campus and select a delivery time. I wonder if you have to give them a tip. I don't know.
Well, I
where
wish
that-
I had that on my campus.
Oh, well. Oh, well, there you go. All right, thanks for joining us for 25 News now at 10. Remember, we're streaming 24/7, Crossroads Today Plus.
Join Carolina Estrine and meteorologist Trey Mining on Sunrise from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.